Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, Geek Girl Claire here, and today I'm going to be building a Picade. Yay! So there are a whole bunch of different pieces inside the Picade. It looks like, to some people, like an overwhelming assortment of different parts and stuff. We get things like this piece here, a side panel, which I've put together the hinges and this little block thing here with screws and nuts and bolts and stuff. So basically all you need is one screwdriver, supposedly, to attach everything onto everything else. So we're going to try to build this. It claims that it's 2 to 3 hours to build this. I looked at the videos. It looked very complicated at first, but I think it's manageable. I think that most people should be able to build this with relative ease. So let's continue the build. Okay, so first we did the base. Okay, so this is the base, and it's got the six blocks all around, and we put the screws in. Now initially I didn't look at the video as closely as I should have, so I actually put the screw in this way with the nut out this way. But that didn't make sense because the thread of the screw was like jutting out. So the screws actually go in this way, and the bolts go in on this side here. And to tighten it, you really need more than just a screwdriver. You need something like something that'll hold that bolt in place while you're able to turn the screw. So what I did was I took a little flathead screwdriver like this, and I propped it up against the screw, and I held it in place while I used the screwdriver to turn and tighten the bolt. See, so I had two things going on either side. So that's how I was able to do it. We've attached the speakers onto the side panels. So now we've attached this hinge onto one of the side panels. And they said to make it loose so that we can tighten it later. And then we also attach these fixing blocks onto the top panel, and it's a double screw on each side. Now we've assembled the front panel and the side pieces onto the base plate. So now we attached the back door and the top, and they basically recommended that only one part be attached on the top panel. So once it closes, it goes something like this. So there you go. Cool. So it's attached by this clip here. Cool. Now we constructed the controller panel, and what we had to do is basically take 3 pieces and basically place them all together. This base part, the graphic, and the acrylic on top. And then we attach the joystick controller from the underside, and then we simply push these buttons in place. And you can put the colors in any way you want. We just copied what they did in the video. So you can replace these with black buttons instead if you'd like. So now we wired up the underside.
Yeah, it took a long time.
It did, yeah. With the black, brown, red, orange, yellow cable to the joystick, and ground connections all around. That's the black cable. And we also wired up with the rainbow colored cable, which is the black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, and blue cable to the 6 buttons all around the controller. And they say that it doesn't matter which color goes to which button because you're going to program these in the end. But make sure that one side is for the positive and one side's for ground. So what I did was I took a look at all of these little black boxes here, and the part that had a deeper side on one end, the longer side on one end, I considered that to be the upright place. So I put all of the colored cables into the left side, and I put all the ground cables onto the right side, and I repeated that all around. So that's it.
Picade.
Oh, that's the Picade controller board for the joystick and the buttons. We'll be attaching them to Picade next. We've wired up one side of the cabinet attached everything to the Picade board. You see inside there's the Picade board. Ooh, so now we put the control panel in place, and we're going to move on to the screen next. And we've assembled the screen display. Pretty cool. So the tricky part was basically lining up the edges of the screen to this backing. So you had to gently nudge the back of this over, and then tighten the screws. So it wasn't that difficult, it was just a little tricky. Okay, so your mileage may vary. Maybe it'll be easy for you. Screen electronics done. Hello everybody, so we added some things to our RetroPie, and now it seems to be working.
But we can't find out how to get on the games.
Yeah, problem with the screen turning blue, and it was resolved once we plugged it into another HDMI monitor and commented out that line to force the HDMI hot plug to work. So once we did that, we plugged this RetroPie back into the cabinet components, and we got the wonderful green light on the inside of the case, as you see here. Green light. Before it was red. So you have to make sure that the ribbon cable that's attached from here to your controller board is attached properly, and make sure that all the connections are snug. And now we're trying to get some games onto this thing. Okay, and now we have the final product. Check it out. I'm running Raiden on the TurboGrafx 16 emulator, PC Engine emulator, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And I also managed to fix some of the wiring that was going astray in an earlier video. I had to basically take this circuit board off so that I can reseat the ribbon cable. So the ribbon cable has been a source of problems for some people, and I tried reseating it, and yeah, so that really helped. Now the light is always green on the inside here, on this little control panel here, as you see here on the bottom, the bottom LED. And yeah, so now this Raspberry Pi is bolted onto the side here using those nylon screws that they included in the kit. And also I tightened this and tightened this so that the lock would be more secure. So that's it. So we can also add some things like cable ties to basically make sure that the wiring is in place rather than all over the place inside the cabinet. And once we close up our cabinet, let's see, there we go. There we go. Nice snug fit. Looks great. So yeah, that was my Raspberry Pi building experience. Now I have been able to get PC Engine games running on this. I have been able to get Super Nintendo games running on this. But arcade ROMs, still a problem. I don't know what's wrong with it. So yeah, I originally bought it for arcade ROMs, but it doesn't seem like that's going to work yet. So yeah, maybe a little more tinkering and hacking and I'll be able to get those things running. Now I do have some PC Engine TurboGrafx titles that are on CD in ROM format on here. I don't know how they're supposed to be played through here. They're in RAR format instead of zip format. So make sure that your emulation ROMs are in zip format in your ROM directories. So yeah, these were my experiences with making the Picade, and I hope that this video serves as a gentle introduction to the world of building a Picade. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that it's not as like difficult or maybe insurmountable as some of you think. I mean, when you get the parts, a lot of the parts are basically screws and nuts, and you have to sort them out. And some people may find that to be somewhat overwhelming because there are so many little pieces here and there. But once you take a look at everything and you separate everything out into pieces and place everything into the box that they provide you with, then it's not so bad. It really can be built with basically 2 screwdrivers. You need a small flathead as well as a standard Phillips screwdriver. So yeah, everybody was saying, oh, you can build this with 1 screwdriver. No, not true totally. You need 2 screwdrivers for this. But that's okay. And then you also need, if you want to tighten those nuts, you really need some sort of like a socket wrench or something like that, and that would really hold things in place. However, some of the nuts are very difficult to get to, so you'll have to resort to other tricks to try to tighten the little lug nuts that the bolts thread into. So yeah, it's been an experience. It's taken about 2.5 hours or so to build this. I think most of the time, though, was trying to get these darn emulators running on it. So yeah, I think building the Picade is actually a piece of cake, but trying to get the Raspberry Pi and everything to be updated, RetroPie that is, to be updated, and to get all the ROMs and such, that's the time-consuming process. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've learned something. Um, and I hope that you go out there and get yourself a Picade, because it is a lot of fun to build this little arcade device. I've always wanted a tabletop arcade unit, and now I have one. So I hope to see you next time, and happy gaming, everybody. Ciao, bye.